I'm drinking my lunch. Hi. Happy Halloween. How is everyone? Thanks, Karen. You know what's funny is I never dress up for Halloween, and I just sort of decided like I wanted to today. How is everyone? You're confused? So we're just going to sort of wing it today. Yeah, it's cold here too. We had our first snow last night, October 30th, and we got 2 inches of snow. Yeah, we just started, Princess Peach. Just started. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm going to do a little story time. Yeah, we got snow last night, 2 inches. It was this horrible winter storm that came through. I know. And I know that there were a lot of people that were happy about it, but I'm not a snow person. I'm not a cold person. I'm not a cold weather person. And of course it's going to be like in the 50s later this weekend. So whatever, middle of the country, it's fine. Yeah, it's cold here. Like I think it was 29 degrees when I woke up this morning. Thanks, Lubu. It's cold in Holland as well. Yeah. What do you call it? Oh my gosh, Michelle, don't say that. Michelle said that it's 90 in Florida. No way. All right, you guys. So I'm going to try and interact with the chat as much as possible, but I do want to do story time. I told you guys I was going to tell you the story of Mercury. Welcome to Mercury retrograde. I am not going to do the fear mongering for you guys for Mercury retrograde. If you got to sign contracts, sign contracts. If you have to buy technology, buy technology. If you have to buy a new car, whatever it is, just make sure you're being really, really discerning. Make sure you are crossing all the T's, dotting all of the I's. It's not a time to be scared. The energy, and it's funny because having so much Mercury in my chart, and Geminis are the same way. In Mercury retrograde, we're actually really, really intuitive. Like we're empowered. Mercury retrograde is a time to be empowered for Virgos and Geminis, or people that are heavily ruled by Mercury. It's a time of empowerment. You just have to make sure that you're paying attention to what you're doing. Always, always, always pay attention, and then you're not going to have any problems, I promise. And that goes for everybody. Hi, Lillian. You're my first moderator on. So, yeah, the story of Mercury. He was a cunning lad. He was Zeus and Maya. It was Zeus and Maya's son. He's the half-brother of, all the other Olympians. Half-brother is Apollo. Mercury, when he was born, he was like up walking and talking and doing all the things like an hour after he was born. He was literally born a genius. And that's why Mercury rules communication, is because he came up with, he was walking and talking and doing all the things and stuff. And he wanted to win over Apollo. And so what he just, by winning over Apollo, he started off by stealing Apollo's cows. and just a baby. Like, this is literally just hours after he was born. He was doing this. He went and stole Apollo's cows. One of them he sacrificed and gave back to the gods, where he like burned pieces of meat and sacrificed a cow to the gods of Olympus. And the other cow, he decided that he was going to take all the entrails and make a lyre out of it. What are those, you know, that little tiny harp that you see Mercury holding? It's called a lyre. And the ones that you usually see are like gold around it with the strings. He made it out of a tortoise shell and the strings. And I mean, I know that I'm not going to get it perfectly right because I'm not a mythology professional. I didn't study it. I only studied it in my own time because I love it. I'm just fascinated by it. And the Mercury story is my second favorite one. The first one is Persephone. But Mercury, so he, out of all the cow's entrails, and so when Apollo was coming to find out who stole his cows, he heard this beautiful sound that he'd never heard before. And as he got closer and closer and closer, it stopped. And when he went in, he saw this chubby little baby holding this contraption. And he started to get really angry, and Mercury, being cunning, like if you know Geminis and Virgos, you know that we're like smart asses. Like, we are like the most obnoxious, and some might say manipulative individuals that you will ever meet. And it's because we are ruled by this cunning little baby. And so when Apollo started to get angry, Mercury started playing the lyre again and started poking at Apollo and teasing him and making fun of him. And Apollo couldn't help but love him. And yeah, totally. I mean, I admit that there are days where I act a fool just to get somebody to laugh or just to get somebody to turn their mind around. I am probably the most sarcastic person you'll ever meet. And that's all due to Mercury. And I mean, like, Mercury is the one that has the wings on his feet. So he goes around, he flies around all over the place. He's also the only one of the gods, because he's the messenger of the gods. He goes back and forth, right? The only one of them that is allowed in Hades. So when Persephone went down there and Zeus sent Mercury, which is what I told you guys about when during Libra season with the changing of the seasons and Persephone. But yeah, so when he went down there to bring Persephone back, Zeus sent Hermes, Mercury. So he's the only one that can go back and forth between heaven and hell, Olympus and Hades, if you will. He's the only one that has permission to do that. So that's why we're like really buddy. We can be buddy with Scorpios. That is the story of Mercury. I'm sure I missed some things. I was trying to like think of all the little quirks and things about him. But yeah, he's the alchemist. He is a magician. He can make anything out of anything. That's why the magician is ruled by Mercury. So there you go. Happy Halloween. Story time. Story time. Oh, thanks, Helene. Helene said I had the most beautiful hair ever. So I was going to do sign by sign for Mercury retrograde, but I think that I'm going to leave that for this weekend because I want to be able to just do an energy update for today. And then we can do the sign by sign later this weekend. I hope you all are having a wonderful day. I hope you guys have a wonderful evening. And don't let Mercury retrograde get to you, because it's really, yes, there are things that can trip you up. But just make sure you're watching all of your steps and you won't get tripped up. So let's see what the cards have for us today. You guys are so nice. I like the nicest subscribers ever. You could hit the like button, the thumbs up button for me. That would be awesome. Let's get the video rotating. That's awesome, Random Acts. I'm so glad to hear that. I would say that your emotions and your thoughts being affected today would a lot of it would have to do with the moon, or there's one other. There's one other transit that's happening. Mercury is conjunct Venus right now, so that may be one of the biggest things. We also have a Venus trining Chiron coming up as it moves into Sagittarius in the next couple of days. So thank you, Lighthearted Intuition. Saturn sextiling Neptune, maybe. I would say it's more like, I don't know what your moon sign is, but a lot of times when we have like random, really moody random days, it's because our natal moon aspect is aspecting something that's making us kind of emo. And the moon is in Sagittarius right now. So your moon would be, I don't know. I'd have to look at the degrees and stuff, honestly, Lillian. I'm going to get one more card. So somebody asked me yesterday why I only did, usually I do 6 cards, right? So I do 6 cards here. And so it's like a 12 card spread all together. And yesterday I only did 5 cards down here. And it just happened again. It's when somebody asked me why I did that. And they're like, did you do it on purpose? Is there a reason behind it? And I'm like, there is no reason. I just stop shuffling when Spirit tells me to stop shuffling. And so sometimes I get more cards than others. Sometimes I just shuffled the deck 3 different times. If you watch the video back, I feel like it was 3 times. I don't know, maybe it was just 2. But that on that last one, no cards came out. And I heard Spirit say, no, that's it. So that's why. There's really no rhyme or reason sometimes to what I do. I follow what I'm told, basically. So I have the Hanged Man, I have the Ace of Cups, and the 5 of Swords, and the 9 of Wands, and the Page of Pentacles. Okay. I feel like some of you are kind of in a forced pause right now. And a forced pause would be like when the universe says, all right, it's time for you to slow down. Sometimes people get sick. Sometimes things happen where they're forced to, like, they're not able to go to work, like their car breaks down or something like that. Sometimes when we're put on a forced pause, it's because it's to like jumpstart us back into feeling better or feeling good or allowing ourselves to see things from a different perspective. It's like if it takes you a really long, like you keep on getting stuck in traffic. You're trying to get somewhere and you know you're going to be late and you keep getting stuck in traffic. It's like that rejection or that pause is the universe protecting you from something down the road, right? So sometimes we're like in this forced position or this forced pause in order to remind ourselves that sometimes not everything is supposed to work out the way that we want it to, right? No matter how hard we fight, if we humble ourselves to the cause, it's a lot easier to see. It's a lot easier to see what we're supposed to be doing or the journey that we're supposed to be on, right? And maybe supposed to be is not really the right way to say it, Because there is no right or wrong. There's no such thing as right or wrong. It is, you're learning a lesson, right? Like, we're going to see how, because I'm being really brave by doing this live, because we all know how technology likes to mess with me. But I set my intention and cleared all of the energy before we started this to see if maybe if I just looked at it in a different perspective, that technology doesn't repel me. Sometimes just, the message doesn't get out the way that it's supposed to. And it's supposed to go out another way, right? So allowing yourself to be put in this position by the universe and taking your hands off the wheel and saying, all right, let's see where we're headed. A lot of that is for self-love. Ace of Cups. I did want to remind you guys that I do have 5 spots left for the 1-question readings. If you want to get a 1-question reading answered this weekend, you have to get in those 5 spots. After that, they're going to be sold out. So they're $30. It's 1 question. If you want to get a question answered really fast, that's it. And I have like 8 spots left for the 6-month forecasts. So if you want to get your January through June 2020 forecast, they're going to be delivered in December, but I don't have many spots left, and I don't know if I'm going to open up any more. So get it now, because I'm already full in November for them. So the December ones. So we have the sun, and this is exactly what I'm saying is you're being placed on pause, or you're being placed in a position to see something a little bit clearer, or maybe even to heal. Maybe even allowing yourself to heal. The sun is the best card that you can get in a reading. So the fact that we're getting it on the Hanged Man is saying you have to see this being stuck or being placed on pause. You have to see this as a benefit. This is actually benefiting you. It's not hurting you. So, and a lot of it is going to come from within yourself. Ace of Cups. Yeah, baby. I love it when the cards work with me. The moon. Speaking of the moon, Lillian, when I told you to check out what your moon aspect is doing, or where your Venus is right now. But the moon on the Ace of Cups is telling you to get honest with yourself. Be honest. You have to look in the mirror and be really honest with yourself and say, what was I lying to myself about? And the self-alignment course, which is the other thing that I was going to mention, November 10th, I said I wasn't going to do it again, and I'm opening up one more workshop session, $44, self-alignment workshop, to learn how to stop lying to yourself, to stop telling yourself untruths, to get yourself unblocked, to allow yourself to see things. And if you can't make it live, you get it recorded. So you literally get a class, a workshop teaching you how to unblock yourself forever. Like, it's never going to be deleted. And you can watch it over and over and over again. Hey, Cal. Cal dressed up as himself today for Halloween. Because you're telling yourself that you're lacking the 5 of Pentacles on the 5 of Swords. You're telling yourself that you're lacking, or you're telling yourself that you don't have enough, or there's something where you're literally trying to convince yourself, but you have so much. See it? Look at everything that you have. You have the sun. You have the Ace of Cups. You even get a little bit of a break. But you're lying to yourself because maybe it just makes you feel better to say that you don't have enough. I don't know. Sometimes misery, people say misery loves company. If you're a person that is constantly saying that you don't get along with people, or nobody likes you, or you can't seem to get ahead in life, or this or this or this or this, and you talk about it and you complain about it, and everybody you talk to, you have the same conversation with about how nothing ever works out for you. you're just going to get more of that. You're just going to constantly keep getting more and more and more and more, because that's the energy you're putting out. The energy that you're putting out, you're going to get back. Thanks, guys. Oh my gosh. So instead of fighting so hard for things that just don't work out and don't work out and don't work out, instead of fighting so hard for it, you know what I want? I want you to literally ignore what you want. Completely ignore it. If you want something in your life, plant the seed, set the intention. Heck, even join us on one of the rituals, the moon rituals, and set the intention of what you want to bring into your life or what you want to release out of your life. Set the intention and then let it go. And once you set the intention, what is yours will come to you. See that cup in the Four of Cups, that cup that's coming directly out of the sky, that guy is ignoring. Oh, sure, he's going to fight for everything else that he has, right? But when it comes to what the universe is trying to offer, my moon is in Sagittarius. Usually that's a really optimistic placement. So that's okay, small wildflowers. At least you're here. At least you got notified. Thanks, Heidi. So instead of fighting for what you think that you want in your life, try accepting, try humbling yourself, and whoa. We're just going to take them. That's probably why I wasn't supposed to do any more cards, because all of these came out. Oh, and I'm so glad they did. It's like a Jack Black table. Yes, 21. The High Priestess and Strength on the Page of Pentacles. Humbling yourself. Humbling yourself. And sorry, I got distracted by the chat. You guys are so sweet. Humbling yourself and listening to your intuition is going to give you a lot of inner strength, and allowing yourself to see what it is that you've been fighting for. When you're fighting for something, you're actually fighting more against it than you think you are. So allowing your focus to be somewhere else so that the universe can provide for you is really, really key right now. And even if you don't know what you want, even if you're not 100%, sometimes not knowing what you want is the best way to do it. Because think of the expansion, like allowing yourself. It's like when somebody said to me, they were complaining that they didn't have a job, and they said, but I have savings. So I'm not like freaking out yet, but I know eventually I need to get a job. So they wanted a reading on a job. And I was like, you mean you don't have to have a job right now, but you're so worried about getting a job that you're like really narrowing yourself to like this, right? It was like tunnel vision. It's like all they could think about was getting the first job that came along. And I was like, you have the best opportunity right now to do whatever it is that you want to do. And you can have fun doing it because you don't have to stress about money. And they were like, oh my God, you're absolutely right. I don't even know what it is that I want to do or what it is that's coming up for me. But since I have this opportunity right now to kind of take a step back and relax into it, maybe I could do what I want to do instead of what I have to do. We always have this I have to do this kind of mentality. And instead, if we were to just sort of like look at it as an opportunity to see whatever it is. And I know that not everybody is in that position. That was just an example of sometimes we have the opportunity of not even knowing what it is that we want to do. Knight of Wands, Nine of Cups, and the Wheel of Fortune. And the best way to switch the energy, or the best way to shift the energy into something really positive, is to be an open vessel, right? Ace of Cups. That's exactly what the Ace of Cups is. Be an open vessel and ready to receive whatever. Hi, Ryan. So, allowing yourself to see that an open-ended situation is a much bigger opportunity than anything that'll just put you back in a box, right? Best way to receive. I really like this. I like the fact that it's showing you where you're only really lying to yourself about lacking, because it doesn't matter what situation you're in, you're going to be taken care of. It's your birthright. You were promised that at birth, that you were going to be taken care of. You see? Thank you, Lori. So, I hope everybody has a wonderful Halloween and a wonderful day. Thank you so much. You guys are really sweet. And Mercury retrograde will help you slow down, but it's actually a blessing to slow down. I think more people need to slow down. I think more people need to remind themselves that they don't constantly have to be rushing and rushing and rushing to get anywhere. So thank you all for showing up at this impromptu live reading. Yes, please hit the like button before you leave the chat. And remember to get the one question reading. I don't know when I'm going to do that again. Things are going to start getting really busy. Good. Have a nice evening and be safe. If you're going trick-or-treating tonight, please be safe. Please, please, please be safe. And for those of you in the Midwest that are in the freezing weather, stay warm. And in Norway, apparently in Norway, it's freezing too, right? Meow, meow. Thanks. You're hiding under your bed? No, don't do that. Bye, guys. Thanks for joining. Hit the like button before you leave. Love you.